the vast Pacific Ocean, a theater where the world's two largest powers engage in a high-stakes game of cat and mouse. The US and China, whose navies constantly maneuver through these open waters, are locked in a delicate dance of strategy and tension. With each passing day, the stakes grow higher as these maritime encounters become flashpoints of global significance. Join us as we delve into the gripping details of what happens when a Chinese spy ship intercepts a US Navy ship. When an unidentified ship shows up on the radar of a US aircraft carrier, it triggers a series of swift and practiced steps. The crew on the bridge immediately focuses on figuring out who the ship is and what its intentions might be. They quickly gather information on the vessel's size, speed, and direction using state-of-the-art radar and powerful optics. The aircraft carrier is equipped with highly advanced radar systems that can detect and follow multiple ships from more than 100 nautical miles away. One of the most impressive systems on board is the AN Spy-1 phased array radar, designed to track numerous targets with incredible accuracy. The AN Spy-1 radar is a critical component of the US Navy's Aegis Fleet Air Defense System, known for its remarkable ability to monitor and protect against aerial threats. First operational in 1983, this radar operates in the F-band and generates several megawatts of power. What sets it apart is its electronically scanned fixed-array design, allowing it to simultaneously track multiple targets in real time. The system is vital in defending naval fleets from missiles, aircraft, and other airborne threats. At the heart of the AN Spy-1 radar are its four fixed phase-scanned arrays, each measuring 3.65 x 3.65 meters. These arrays can send out electromagnetic energy beams in all directions, continuously searching for and tracking hundreds of targets simultaneously. Each array contains 4,100 discrete elements, which are controlled by powerful AN UYK7 digital computers. These computers allow the radar to produce and steer multiple radar beams with incredible precision, making the AN Spy-1 highly responsive in high-stakes situations. This ability to process data quickly ensures that threats are detected early, giving naval forces a significant edge in combat scenarios. In addition to tracking enemy targets, the AN Spy-1 also plays a pivotal role in guiding the ship's own missiles, such as the Standard Missile-2. Once a missile is launched, the radar continues to track it mid-flight, providing real-time adjustments to ensure it remains on course toward its target. This capability is vital for defending against fast-moving threats, such as ballistic missiles or enemy aircraft. Over the years, the AN Spy-1 radar has been upgraded and adapted to meet the evolving demands of modern warfare. These advancements allow it to integrate with newer missile defense systems and improve its performance in detecting and neutralizing increasingly sophisticated threats. As part of the Aegis system, it has proven itself in countless naval operations, becoming an indispensable tool in the US Navy's efforts to maintain air superiority and protect its fleets. Another essential tool in the US Navy's arsenal is the use of electro-optical and infrared sensors. These sensors play a critical role in enhancing the Navy's ability to monitor and engage with their environment in various conditions, both day and night. Electro-optical sensors are sophisticated devices that convert light or changes in light into electronic signals. They are capable of detecting electromagnetic radiation across a wide spectrum, from infrared to ultraviolet wavelengths. This broad detection range makes them extremely versatile for military applications. For instance, electro-optical sensors can identify objects by detecting their heat signatures or their reflection of light, making them effective in low-visibility situations or during nighttime operations. Optical sensors, a subset of electro-optical systems, work by converting light rays into electronic signals. These sensors measure the intensity or quality of light, transforming this data into a readable output that can be processed by computers or monitoring systems. The setup typically includes a light source, a measuring device, and the optical sensor itself. When there is a change in the amount of light, the optical sensor reacts, often triggering an electrical response. This response, known as a photoelectric trigger, is particularly useful in detecting motion or changes in the surrounding environment. One of the key advantages of optical sensors is their ability to operate as switches within complex systems. These optical switches can direct signals in fiber optic networks or integrated optical circuits. By using mechanical movements or electro-optic and magneto-optic effects, optical switches can route signals where needed. This capability is invaluable for both communication and surveillance systems, allowing for rapid adjustments and responses in dynamic environments. Combined with radar and other detection technologies, electro-optical and infrared sensors provide the U.S. Navy with a multi-layered approach to monitoring vast maritime areas. As soon as an unidentified vessel is detected, the carrier's communications team quickly gets to work. They try to make radio contact with the ship using standard international maritime frequencies. The message they send is straightforward but official. This is a United States Navy vessel conducting routine operations in international waters. Please identify yourself and state your purpose. If the ship turns out to be a Chinese spy vessel, the situation becomes more delicate. Still, the U.S. Navy remains calm and professional. They may respond with something like, "This is a U.S. Navy carrier engaged in lawful operations in international waters. We request that you keep a safe distance and avoid actions that could be seen as aggressive." This first message does several important things. It announces the U.S. Navy's presence, explains its mission, and starts a line of communication. It also sets the tone for how the situation will be handled, emphasizing professionalism and respect for international laws. The carrier's crew is well trained in several languages, including Mandarin, to make sure their message is clearly understood. They follow set phrases and procedures, like the ones found in the Code for Unplanned Encounters at Sea. The Code for Unplanned Encounters at Sea, CUES, is a vital agreement designed to reduce the risk of maritime incidents and ensure that, when they do occur, they don't escalate into dangerous confrontations. Established during the 2014 Western Pacific Naval Symposium, CUES provides standardized phraseology and protocols for naval vessels from different countries. These guidelines ensure clear communication, reduce misunderstandings, and promote safety during unplanned encounters. CUES was developed in response to the increasing number of close encounters between naval ships in contested waters, particularly in the Asia-Pacific region. As military forces operate nearby, especially in the highly strategic and often disputed South China Sea, the risk of incidents grows. This agreement helps de-escalate such encounters by offering a framework for how ships and aircraft should communicate and behave in such situations. 21 countries, including major powers like the United States, China, Russia, and several Asia-Pacific nations, are signatories to the agreement. Even non-signatory states such as Taiwan reportedly implement the protocols, demonstrating the broader influence and acceptance of CUES. Countries like Australia, Japan, and the Philippines, which have maritime interests in the region, also adhere to CUES, recognizing its importance in maintaining stability at sea. CUES plays an essential role in maintaining peace and preventing conflicts in one of the most contentious maritime regions in the world. As communication continues, the aircraft carrier's high-tech sensors are hard at work, keeping an eye on the spy ship. Radar operators track its every movement, while electronic warfare experts study the signals it's emitting. These could include radar waves, radio chatter, or other electronic clues that might hint at what the ship is capable of or what its intentions are. The carrier's electronic warfare systems, like the AN/SLQ-32, can detect and identify these signals. The AN/SLQ-32 electronic warfare system, often referred to as Sidekick, plays a critical role in protecting U.S. Navy surface ships from the ever-present threat of radar-guided anti-ship missiles. First deployed in 1974 aboard frigates and landing platform docks, the SLQ-32 has evolved into a sophisticated electronic defense system designed to counter a wide variety of radar-guided missile attacks. At the heart of the SLQ-32 system is its Rotman lens-fed multi-beam array. This advanced technology allows the system to generate extremely high jamming power in continuous waves, enabling an almost limitless variety of jamming techniques. These capabilities give the SLQ-32 a significant edge in disrupting enemy radar systems, rendering anti-ship missiles ineffective before they can strike their targets. Over the years, the system has undergone numerous upgrades, with each version more powerful and adaptable than the last. For instance, the SLQ-32V5 introduced active jamming capabilities, utilizing smaller, lighter, and solid-state components to improve its effectiveness while reducing the system's physical footprint. In recent years, the U.S. Navy has further advanced its electronic warfare capabilities with the introduction of the AN/SLQ-32CV6, a scaled-down version of the Surface Electronic Warfare Improvement Program system. Designed for integration on smaller vessels like the littoral combat ship, the SLQ-32CV6 offers cutting-edge advancements in antenna technology, signal detection, and combat system interface. These improvements enable the system to respond to new and evolving threats with greater speed and accuracy, while also minimizing electromagnetic interference, an essential capability in today's increasingly complex electronic battle spaces. The SLQ-32CV6 system was successfully tested on board the USS Freedom in December 2014, marking a major milestone in the Navy's efforts to bolster its electronic warfare defenses. This provides the crew with a clear electronic map of the area, helping them to spot different vessels and figure out which ones might be a threat. The carrier may also send out an E-2 Hawkeye. The E-2C Hawkeye stands as a formidable sentinel in the U.S. Navy's arsenal, serving as the primary carrier-based airborne early warning and command and control aircraft. This aircraft is an essential component of naval operations, providing unmatched surveillance and tactical coordination for carrier strike groups. Central to the E-2C's power is its remarkable 24-foot rotating radar dish, which turns smoothly at a consistent rate of 6 times per minute. This radar system is not just a vital tool for detecting airborne and maritime threats, but also a marvel of engineering. The lift generated by the radar dish during flight is sufficient to counteract the aircraft's own weight, enabling it to operate efficiently despite the additional drag. Inside the E-2C, a dedicated 5-man crew ensures its effectiveness in any scenario. This team includes 2 pilots and 3 equipment operators, all of whom work in concert to monitor a vast number of aircraft and direct strike operations. Their role is crucial, as they provide real-time tracking and targeting capabilities, even in adverse weather conditions. The E-2C's radar system boasts an impressive surveillance envelope, covering up to 3 million cubic miles. This expansive reach allows the crew to simultaneously track and manage more than 600 targets while overseeing up to 40 airborne intercepts. The E-2C's versatility extends beyond traditional early warning. It is capable of all-weather patrols and excels in maintaining a protective watch over the fleet. The ability to direct air defenses and coordinate strike operations is a testament to its integral role in the Navy's operational strategy. The aircraft's early warning capabilities form a protective ring around the fleet, enabling swift responses to potential threats and ensuring comprehensive situational awareness. The latest evolution of the E-2 platform, the E-2D Advanced Hawkeye, or AHE, represents a significant leap forward in technology and capability. Featuring a state-of-the-art radar system, the E-2D enhances the Navy's operational reach and effectiveness. This new variant incorporates a 2-generation advance in radar technology, offering broader coverage and improved precision. The upgraded aircraft systems also contribute to greater supportability and readiness, making the E-2D a critical asset for modern naval operations. With its spinning radar dome, the Hawkeye can follow hundreds of targets at once, from as far as 350 nautical miles away. Its coordination with fighter jets and surface ships makes it a key player in managing complex naval situations. Meanwhile, intelligence analysts aboard the carrier dig through all the data being collected. They compare it to known information about Chinese naval forces, searching for any unusual behavior or new technologies that might suggest a shift in Chinese tactics. Using advanced software, they match the spy ship's details with a database of known ships, paying special attention to any changes or upgrades that could signal new surveillance equipment or weapon systems. It's important to understand that while the U.S. Navy is busy gathering important intelligence, it does so strictly within international laws. There's a delicate balance between lawful observation and actions that could be seen as provocative, and the Navy is very careful not to cross that line. Even though the presence of a Chinese spy ship is unwelcome, it doesn't stop the U.S. Navy from carrying out its main duties. Whether it's ensuring freedom of navigation, taking part in joint exercises with allied forces, or simply patrolling international waters, the carrier group keeps to its planned activities. This steadfast commitment sends a strong message. The U.S. Navy will not be scared off or distracted from its lawful duties in international waters. It's a display of determination that goes beyond just words. That said, the carrier group might make some minor tweaks to its operations. Certain sensitive activities might be delayed or adjusted to make it harder for the spy ship to gather useful information. The aim is to complete the mission while being practical about the fact that they are under surveillance. For instance, if the carrier group was set to carry out a missile defense exercise, they might change the timing or location to lessen the value of the data the Chinese ship could collect. Likewise, they might use strict emissions control procedures to adjust their electronic signals, reducing the information available to the spy ship's sensors. U.S. aircraft carriers often sail with a group of allied ships, especially when they're in sensitive regions such as the South China Sea. The presence of a Chinese spy ship adds a layer of complexity to these joint operations, making clear communication among the allied vessels even more important. In these situations, the U.S. carrier, serving as the flagship, takes charge of coordinating the response. This might mean assigning specific ships to keep an eye on the spy vessel, while others carry on with their planned exercises. For example, in April 2024, the USS Harper's Ferry was operating with ships from the Philippines and France. This joint force exercise, known as balikatan, meaning shoulder to shoulder in Tagalog, involved a U.S. Navy amphibious ship, a French frigate, and 2 Philippine vessels. The exercise, taking place throughout the Philippines, started on April 1st and continued until May 10th. It came amid heightened tensions over Beijing's claims to maritime areas also claimed by the Philippines in the South China Sea. Since last summer, clashes have increased near the Second Thomas Shoal, where Chinese vessels have been using water cannons against Philippine resupply ships. The BRP Sierra Madre, a Philippine ship stranded on the shoal, is crucial for safeguarding the Philippines' claims. On April 25, 2024, the U.S., Philippine, and French ships set sail from Puerto Princesa, Palawan, heading towards the exercise area in the South China Sea. The USS Harper's Ferry, the French Navy's FS Vendémiaire, and the Philippine vessels BRP Ramon Alcaraz and BRP Davao del Sur were part of this joint operation. This multinational presence showcased the unity of U.S. allies and made it harder for China to monitor their activities. By spreading out and observing from different angles, Allied ships help create a fuller picture of the spy ship's actions. This teamwork not only improves situational awareness, but also demonstrates the strength and solidarity of the alliance. The U.S. Navy's ability to effectively work with allied navies is a major asset. Regular joint exercises, such as the annual Balikatan drills with the Philippines, ensure that allied forces can operate smoothly together in challenging situations. The interactions between U.S. aircraft carriers and Chinese spy ships unfold within the framework of international maritime law, especially the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, UNCLOS. Often referred to as the Constitution for the Oceans, this important treaty, which became effective in 1994, outlines how nations should use the world's oceans and their resources. UNCLOS defines various maritime zones and the rights each country has within them. For instance, the high seas are regions that lie beyond any national borders, where all countries have the freedom to navigate, fly over, lay submarine cables, and conduct scientific research. This treaty ensures that all ships, including military ones, have the right to innocent passage through a nation's territorial waters. This right also extends to the exclusive economic zones, EEZs, which extend up to 200 nautical miles from a country's coastline. Within these zones, foreign ships can operate as long as they do not interfere with the coastal state's rights or threaten its security. The U.S. Navy's operations in the South China Sea, including the deployment of carrier strike groups, are based on the principle of freedom of navigation. This long-standing maritime practice, enshrined in UN clause, permits ships to sail freely through international waters and EEZs. However, China's interpretation of these laws has sparked significant friction. China asserts control over large portions of the South China Sea that extend well beyond the boundaries recognized by international law. It has constructed artificial islands and military facilities in contested areas, challenging the traditional understanding of maritime rights. China's claims in the South China Sea are centered around something called the Nine-Dash Line, which is a somewhat unclear boundary covering almost 90% of the sea. This line overlaps with the EEZs of several other countries, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. Many nations, including the United States, disagree with China's broad claims. To assert that all countries have the right to navigate these waters freely, the U.S. Navy conducts regular freedom of navigation operations, FEONOPS. These operations often involve U.S. warships sailing within 12 nautical miles of areas claimed by China, showing that the U.S. does not acknowledge these claims as valid. FEONOPS are carefully designed and carried out to challenge excessive claims on the sea while following international laws. During these operations, a U.S. warship follows a set route through disputed areas, and the U.S. often releases public statements about the purpose of the mission. Chinese spy ships often trail U.S. carriers, which is part of a larger legal and strategic contest. Although international law does not explicitly ban this kind of surveillance, it adds to the tension and mistrust in the region. It's important to note that while the United States supports the principles of the UNCLOS, it has not officially ratified the treaty due to domestic politics. However, the U.S. considers many of UNCLOS's rules to be customary international law and follows them accordingly. The ongoing game of cat and mouse between U.S. aircraft carriers and Chinese spy ships is about more than just immediate skirmishes. It's a reflection of shifting global power dynamics, especially in the Indo-Pacific region. For decades, the U.S. Navy has maintained its position as the most powerful force in the Pacific, with its carrier groups serving as potent symbols of American military strength. This dominance is largely attributed to the Navy's formidable aircraft carriers, which are integral to projecting power across vast distances. These carriers, often referred to as floating air bases, can carry up to 90 aircraft, including fighter jets, surveillance planes, and early warning aircraft, allowing them to operate as self-sustaining military units far from U.S. shores. The Navy's carrier strike groups are supported by a range of advanced vessels, including guided missile destroyers and submarines, which enhance their defensive and offensive capabilities. These groups are equipped with cutting-edge technology and maintain a high level of operational readiness, enabling rapid responses to emerging threats and ensuring a continuous presence in key strategic areas. This enduring naval supremacy has been a cornerstone of U.S. strategic policy, ensuring stability and security in the Pacific region. The capability to project power and influence through carrier strike groups underscores the U.S. Navy's critical role in shaping regional dynamics and maintaining peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific region. However, China's growing naval power presents a significant challenge to this maritime dominance, particularly through its rapid and extensive expansion of naval assets. This expansion includes not only an increasing number of surveillance ships like the Tianwang-Jing, but also a broad enhancement of its overall naval capabilities. The Tianwang-Jing, a prominent example, is part of China's strategy to bolster its surveillance and reconnaissance capabilities, playing a crucial role in monitoring and gathering intelligence in contested regions. China's naval buildup encompasses several key areas. The nation has invested heavily in aircraft carriers, with the Liaoning and the Shandong currently in service and the Fujian, its first domestically built carrier, entering service soon. These carriers enhance China's power projection capabilities significantly. Additionally, China is advancing its fleet of destroyers with state-of-the-art vessels like the Type 055, which are equipped with advanced radar systems and long-range missile capabilities. The submarine fleet, including the Type 094 and the new Type 096 ballistic missile submarines, further strengthens China's strategic deterrence and underwater warfare capabilities. This comprehensive naval expansion is part of China's broader strategy to assert its presence in the Indo-Pacific region and challenge U.S. naval supremacy, reshaping the balance of power in the region. This buildup is part of China's broader plan to become a top military power by 2049, marking the centenary of the People's Republic. These encounters between carriers and spy ships also act as testing grounds for new technologies and strategies. Both the US and China use these close encounters to learn more about each other's military capabilities, from electronic warfare tools to operational methods. For instance, the Tianwang-Jing's close approach to US and allied ships during an April 2024 exercise likely offered China valuable information about these vessels' electronic signals and operational patterns. Similarly, US forces gain insights into Chinese surveillance techniques and strategies from these interactions. Looking ahead, the frequency and nature of these encounters will likely influence how naval strategies and international maritime laws develop. As China continues to push its claims and the US strives to maintain its influence, the risk of miscalculations or conflicts remains high. Both navies must work on de-escalation and confidence-building measures. Agreements like the Kiyus, which includes protocols for communication when ships unexpectedly meet, are steps in the right direction. However, the effectiveness of these measures in tense situations is still to be tested. The US and China have set up a military maritime consultative agreement to talk about maritime safety issues. Although these talks haven't always managed to ease tensions, they remain a crucial way for the two navies to communicate. These encounters are just a small part of the bigger picture of the ongoing rivalry between the world's two biggest powers, played out on the vast stage of the Pacific Ocean. How this rivalry unfolds will greatly influence the future of global order and power dynamics in the 21st century. The interactions between US Navy carrier groups and Chinese surveillance ships across the Pacific highlight the changing nature of maritime strategy and international relations. These encounters involve a mix of communication, technology, laws, and global politics. The US Navy's approach, showing professionalism, defending freedom of navigation, and working with allies, demonstrates a strategy of confident but cautious engagement. On the other hand, China's increasing efforts to follow and observe US naval operations reflect its growing confidence and ambitions on the global stage. As tensions rise and fall in the South China Sea and beyond, these naval interactions will continue to influence the strategic landscape of the Indo-Pacific region. They remind us of the delicate balance needed to maintain peace and stability in a world where global power dynamics are constantly shifting. Resolving these maritime disputes will require not just military readiness, but also diplomatic skills, adherence to international laws, and a willingness to seek common ground. If a Chinese spy ship intercepts a US Navy vessel, how might this incident alter the dynamics of the US-China maritime relations? And what could be the broader implications for regional stability? Let us know your opinion in the comments below.